Hello again. Today is currently January 21st, Tuesday, 2025, conveniently my birthday. And I've been feeling rather inspired for some videos. And this next video, video number 6, I want to title Partnership. And I just want to talk about partnership and companionship and all of those things. So when I say partnership, I don't just mean relationships, but I think that's most of it is relationships, like significant other relationships, but I also mean friendships as well when I mention partnerships and companionships. And just something that kind of inspired this, I would say, is I had a quote that I'm going to read from a song, and I have many quotes written down actually, but honestly, what I think inspires this is just today. It's odd. I woke up today, it's my birthday, I didn't really expect much. I saw my parents over the weekend, which was nice, obviously. I didn't get to see my brother, unfortunately. But, I was never a really big birthday person, honestly. And I never really expected much from a birthday. And, I never expected anyone to really do much for me, which is fine. Until I was about 21, obviously, the person that I was with at the time, who actually ended up texting me today. We hadn't talked in months, and it was something rather special to hear from them, right? Even though it may have had negative connotation, and maybe if you ask people, they say I shouldn't have responded or I shouldn't give it time. I think for me, the world tries to get you to hate your ex-partners, and maybe for a lot of people that's valid. But for me, I could never hate my ex-partner. I mean, I just could never hate her. And I wouldn't want to spend time hating a partner who completely changed my life, completely changed my life, completely changed my world. I could say I'm completely different now and I've become so much more, but I couldn't have become so much more without her, right? Without her entering and her exiting, I could not have come more. I mean, it's just that simple. So, I mean, I give credit where credit is due. So yeah. So part of partnership, I think, is, before I get into the quote, I think good partners, the idea of a good partner, whether it's a friend or a relationship, is that person in some way, shape, or form brings out the best of us, right? They take the parts that are good. Like in my past relationship with my ex-girlfriend, she took the parts that were good, that she liked, she watered the shit out of them, and the parts that were bad, that maybe were parasocial and I shouldn't be doing, but I did anyways, she did not water those parts, right? And that partnership motivates you. It makes you want to be better for yourself. This is why I can never understand friendships and partnerships, and I'll just use partnerships synonymously with friendships from now on, so either romantic or non-romantic. I don't understand partnerships that you get with somebody, whether it's a friend or a romantic partner, and you start eating bad. You start not going to the gym. You start gaining weight. You start doing drugs, drinking excessively, not sleeping. Like, I don't understand that stuff, because for me, it's like, I'm as your partner, you're employing me to bring out the best in you, and I'm employing you to bring out the best in me, and call me on my shit and tell me, hey, look, you gotta lock in. Like, you're doing, you're not doing what you need to be doing. And I understand a lot of that comes within, it's intrinsic, but a lot of that is still extrinsic, right? I mean, it just is. A lot of that is extrinsic value towards someone. And I think for me, with partnerships, what I wrote down is a song that is by Bad Bunny, conveniently, DTMF. I'm sure many of you have heard it. Mainly me, as I'm going to be the one watching this. But it says, I should have taken more pictures when I had you. I should have given you more kisses and hugs when I could. I hope my people never go away. So this makes me think of partnerships because, and I know this line is, it's a line of like regret, I think, and it's a line of dwelling, which I've obviously outlined can be negative. But I think for me, it shows, I don't know, maybe I was thinking a little bit differently before she texted me, because I think prior to her texting me, maybe there was a little bit of regret, right? And I mean that in the sense of, I have this life, I have these two competing lives, right? And I have the life I'm at now, and I have the life I could have been at. The only life I know for sure that could have happened is this life that I'm at right now. That's 100% I know that for sure could have happened. But this life that never happened, that's super ideal, that I'm with this person and we got married and maybe we're having children now and she has a good job and I have a good job and, you know, maybe we're doing all these great things and the love is there. And as I said today, the love was the love that they make movies of. Like, I swear to God, the love that we had was the love they write books about. I mean, that's just how it was, right? Like, there's just nothing, like, if you saw it, you would have thought, oh my gosh, this is the pinnacle of what loving someone is. Like, this is it. This is as good as it gets. You can never love anybody more than this. And I mean, if you ask a lot of people, I think they would have said that, right? So for me, it's like this life over here that I don't have echoes throughout my day sometimes. And I think, in specifically like today, I think the measure of a partnership was tested today, right? You know, it's my birthday. This person I haven't talked to in 7 months, who used to be, I mean, you know, you could say she used to be a great experience, but I would say at one point she was my life, right? Text me. And, you know, I would say I've mostly gotten over the fact that we're not together anymore, but it still reminds you of what could have been, right? It still echoes that you know, idealized second life almost, right? And that's how impactful partnerships could be. I mean, I was literally sitting in class just, you know, staring off into space out the window, just thinking like, I wonder what it would be like if this partnership worked out. That's how impactful partnerships, I think, are. It just makes you question everything. And I think for me, I have a very finite number of partnerships. I mean, obviously romantically, I've had one main partner, right? I mean, I had her for many years and we split up and I haven't had anyone else. I mean, it's just like that simple, right? So I try to keep my romantic partners at a very minimum, because I think you can only, I would relate romantic partnerships to books, right? You can only write so many books in your lifetime. You can only make so many movies. I would equate friendships, non-romantic partnerships, to TV shows. I can make 50 episodes of a TV show, right? Name any anime, name Friends. I mean, I'm sure there's like, I've never seen Friends, but I'm sure it's like season 1 is 25 episodes, right? You can name any show, insert any show. That's what a friendship is. So you can have a lot of them, you can do it often. Partnerships, not so much. That's a whole book. And it depends how long you're with that person, right? It could be, that book could be long as hell. And I mean, in my last one, that book was long as hell. So to be able to read that, write the ending together, it's a nice feeling, and it sucks because your book's ending, but the book's long. So it takes time to process that book and go over things and, you know, decide, do I want to, you know, close this book? How fast do I want to close this book? Do I just want to focus on myself? And I think for me, kind of what I chose is more so being by myself. I don't know. I thought that at the time of me breaking up, I was not full of life, right? Didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know who I wanted to be. I had the makings of a great person, but I wasn't a great person, right? I hadn't quite figured out how to be a great person. I hadn't quite figured out how to be a good friend. I hadn't quite figured out how to be, you know, shoot for my potential. I hadn't quite figured that out. Now, I got some great advice from a partner, the ex-partner. I remember, you know, I remember an instance where it was essentially the lesson being taught was, in order to be happy, you need to fill your cup so much with things that you enjoy until it overflows. And people will like you, and they will like you for the things that overflow out of you. If you overflow bad stuff, people will think negative of you. If you overflow good stuff, people will think positive of you. I mean, it's a very simple thing. And I think for me in partnerships is nothing seems to matter but the time we spend together. That's the only thing for me that matters, is the time we spend together. So, you know, in the romantic partnership that I'm referencing, that's all I cared about, right? That's why it was a movie for me, because nothing, you know, we didn't have to be doing anything. We just had to exist together. It was great. You know, it's that simple. We just had to be together, and I was happy. And I think that's healthy. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a very good thing. And I think that's why partnerships always give you a path in life, right? I think your non-romantic partnerships show you what it's like to have good friends and appreciate good people, right? And they show you, okay, this is what it feels like to be loved in a friendly way. This is what it feels like when someone really cares about you. This is what it feels like when this person has zero obligation to be around me because I am not romantically involved with them, and yet they still show up for me, right? Whereas I think romantic partnerships show you the complete opposite. Now, obviously, romantic partnerships can be negative and positive, and my experience has only been positive with the one long experience that I have. But I think what that showed me is it gave me a bar here that was really high, right? And this is most likely why I haven't gotten another romantic partner, because the bar is set here. Let's say this is the average bar. The bar is already set here. I'm not going to go lower than that, right? I'm going to meet that, or I'm going to go higher than that. Well, a lot of people are down here. A lot of people are really, really far down, right? They're not even at average. They're really low because they haven't figured out their shit yet either, right? So my whole thing is you can never settle for a partner, romantically, non-romantically, because I think we're just too, like, us as humans are too full of life to ever be a partner's like maybe. I would never understand why you'd want to be someone's maybe. Like, you know, you just can't do that. You just can't do that. I think it's completely unhealthy, and it's just not something you can do. And I think for a lot of my partnerships, so speaking on today, my birthday, I think what's been weird is, like I said, I expected nothing, and I had all these people reach out and send me these nice messages, and, you know, I guess it shows you to what extent you have impacted someone's life, right? And I think to know that I've had a positive impact on the people in my life, and I've tried to bring out the best of the people in my life, I think that does something to your soul. I think that does something for me a little bit, right? And I think it makes me further realize the amount of work I've put into myself has been for the better of myself. Like I have talked about in the last video, betterment. You are always focusing on getting better. Well, that's what I've been doing. And I think that's what I was doing as well. I could have done a better job at it, yes. But I think even though I have had all this negativity and all this loss in the last 9 months, 8 months, I think it was almost a necessary loss of partnership. Because what it did is it showed me the value in a good partner. It showed me, okay, this is what a good partner is. This is what it looks like. This is how they make you feel. This is how they treat you. This is the things they do for you. They show up for you. They love you. They, no matter, you know, I mean, a thought coming to mind now that kind of is echoing in my head is the partner that I was with in college. Obviously, she has been unnamed in all of these videos, but a lot of them I've talked about her, believe it or not. I remember we were playing pickleball one time, and, you know, I was getting really upset. I don't know. I just had a temper. I was stupid. I don't know why. When I was young, I just had a temper. I don't know what was wrong with me. But, you know, I had a temper, and I was mad, and I was, you know, getting angry with her, yada, yada, yada. And I remember she was crying in my car, and she said, you know, I don't like doing this. I don't like doing it alone. I don't like doing it with you. I don't like doing it not with you. I don't like ever doing this. And the only reason I do it is because I know you like doing it. And she said, so remember, when you get mad at me and you yell at me, I'm the only one out here doing this with you. No one else is here with you. None of your friends want to come with you. No one. And I remember that moment a lot because I think maybe I didn't feel that in this moment because I was being childish, but just the deep appreciation for a partner like that. Like, holy hell, you're telling me you are doing something purely in the interest of me, and you're getting nothing out of it. You're not getting joy. You're not getting happiness. The only thing you're getting out of it is my happiness and spending time with me. Maybe, but I'm pissed off, so maybe not. Which I've gotten better about. Actually, I've gotten a lot better about. I think the thing that I really try to work on is positive self-talk when I'm playing, and I think that helps me a lot, because it's all up here. It's all just a battle up here. That's all it is. You can't let this thing win, because this thing, you say negative things, this thing thinks negative, and you play negative. You do negative things. So I think what I've learned is if I'm positive to myself outwardly, I'm positive in here too, right? That's part of being the best and believing you're the best. You just have to speak positive about yourself. And that is the most important thing I think I've learned, actually. But going back to that story, I mean, that story sometimes echoes in my head, and I can, it's a weird thing. And I think this is, kind of off topic of partnerships, but it's definitely something that I think about sometimes, and it affects me, and maybe it's a little bit of an existential crisis, but I can envision that moment happening in my head, and I know it happened, but I can't really think of where we were when it happened. And I can envision her face, but I don't know that I can envision the tears anymore. And I can think about the words that she said, but I don't think that I can envision the sound of her voice anymore. And I guess maybe that's a part of getting over someone, but I don't know, that just sucks. I mean, that's off topic, but yeah, that definitely is not a fun thing that I want to experience too many more times. But yes, moving on. I think with partners, what makes partnerships special is, one, we have a limited number of partners. Obviously, you can only be romantically involved with one person, I hope. I mean, you should not be romantically involved with two people or you're a piece of shit. I mean, I think that's fairly straightforward. So you can only be romantically involved with one person. And for me, at least, I mean, I'm just not going to be romantically involved with that many people in my lifetime. I just already know that. I've already accepted that, and that's okay, because that's not what I want. I mean, I'm not the type of person to jump from person to person or job to job. I'm a lifer, man. Once I have you, I want to keep you forever. I mean, and I hope you want the same thing. That's just how I am. I'm not here to, be with someone part-time and let them go. That's like the dumbest thing in the world to me. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad way to approach it, but that's how I am. Same with friendships, right? You have a limited number of friendships. Can't be friends with everyone. But I think this limited nature of partnership makes partnership exceedingly special, right? The reason partnership has value is because there are a limited number of partnerships, and partnerships can end. That's something that I learned in my breakup. The thing that made the breakup valuable is the breakup ending. Or the thing that makes the relationship valuable is that it ended, right? Because when you have something to lose, it adds value to it. When that thing is not permanent forever, it has value to it. And I think that's why I've tried to focus and hone in on loving things and loving partnerships and loving people, because maybe previously I wasn't going all in on my partnerships, and I don't even know if this is true, but this is a theory. Maybe previously I wasn't going all in on my partnerships because I believed in some way, shape, or form that those partnerships could last forever. Whereas now I know for sure those partnerships do not last forever, so I must go all in. And I must love frequently, I must love authentically, and I must love all in all the time with these partnerships. All the time. Because if I can do that, then no matter what happens, if these partnerships end or not, I can still sit here and I say, holy hell, how good was that? And I think that's something that I did in college with my romantic partnership. Even though it ended, even though, it makes you sad, and my friendships, even though they ended, and even though it makes me sad, and even though I could say, oh my gosh, I wish I had all these people around me, at least I can leave and I can say, I loved authentically, I loved often, and I loved all in on these things, right? And I just think partnership sets my soul on fire sometimes, especially a romantic partnership. I mean, it's just a highlight of life. I don't know. Because, I feel like when I was a kid, I would always get made fun of for watching rom-coms. But all those people who made fun of me for watching rom-coms were the same people that were jealous when I was actively living one. When I was actively living the book that they were reading about the university love, all of a sudden they didn't say anything. When I actually had a partner who went all in with me and I went all in on them, and we loved each other authentically and often, and we weren't toxic, all of a sudden all those people didn't know what to say. Because I don't think people have seen real partnerships all that often. Because they're scared. They're scared because I think sometimes people get scared of partnerships because they're afraid, what if they don't have the capacity to love this person as long as they're there? And I call BS on that. I completely call BS on that, because you need to go all in on your partnerships. You have to. What am I to say that, imagine I had this, again, we'll go back to life A and B, right? Here's life A. I loved all in on my partnerships, romantically, non-romantically in college. And I try to do everything, especially romantically. I try to do everything and make it the way I want it to be. And even if it was ups and downs, I still try to go through all of them and live them, right? And not give up. In part B, I half do it. I half put in effort. I half love. Maybe I don't even love authentically. Maybe I love sometimes. How shitty of a person would I be? I mean, seriously, I don't get people who do that stuff. How shitty are you? Because in the end of the day, all we have is each other. All we have is love. And all we have is the partnerships we make along the way. And no matter if those partnerships ends, if you cannot look back on them and say, that was a pretty goddamn good movie, and I would watch that movie every single day if I could. If you can't say that, then what the fuck can you say? Really, what can you say? Because for me, romantically and non-romantically, especially romantically, thus far my partnerships have been something they write movies about. They've been that good. And they've been that good because I've gone all in. And I've done it often. And I've done it authentically with all my heart. So I think partnerships are the most important. Whether you're partnerships with each other, whether you're partnerships with God, you gotta have partnership. It's really, really, really important. And as I said, when you do it, you gotta do it romantically. You gotta do it often. You gotta do it authentically, and you gotta go all in with it. Because if you can't do those things, then I don't know why the hell you'd want a partnership in the first place. I don't know why you want romantic partnership. I don't know why you'd want non-romantic partnership. Because if you can't do those things, you probably need to do something for yourself. And you probably need to work on yourself. And that's just the reality of the situation. So, with that, I think that ends my video on partnership. I don't know if there was anything else that I wanted to say. I guess I would say this to end off. If you were to ask me, in the partnerships that have ended, romantically and non-romantically, how would I picture them? I would say I pictured them just as they happened. And if a person who is one of those partners and they know who they are, I'm sure if they watch this, it'd be very easy to tell. I pictured it exactly how it happened. I have no regrets. I enjoyed every moment. It was completely real for the both of us. I'm sorry it ended. I'm sorry if I maybe gave up on you or you gave up on me. I'm sorry. But it was real. And quite frankly, I enjoyed my time. And I would relive it. And I'd do it again. So if you end up seeing this and you feel like, maybe I left off on terms that I didn't want to leave off on, I hope you have my number and you know where to find me. Because for me, rekindling partnerships are always, everyone always says, oh, you already know the ending of the partnership. You already know the ending of the movie. Why can't we create a whole new movie? That's what rekindling something is to me. It's not rereading the ending. It's making a whole new book. So yeah. That is ending my 6th video. I hope you enjoyed. I already said the date. It is very late. So yeah. I'll see you in the next.